Then I projectile vomited it multiple times, and I hadn't absorbed anything for hours. And so I was like completely depleted, having to walk the final 2 miles holding my torso up because I was losing function of my muscles.
While this is probably not as common as underfueling, it does happen, and it can leave you feeling sick and bloated and ruin an otherwise really good race.
You know, I've overtaken, you know, in Coeur d'Alene, I believe a major factor was I did a massive amount of carbs, all artificial, you know, nothing natural, and no water. And then my stomach basically after a few hours literally shut off. And I didn't know it shut off, and I'm putting in still lots of this artificial, highly concentrated carbohydrate mix, and then I projectile vomited it multiple times, and I hadn't absorbed anything for hours. And so I was like completely depleted, having to walk the final 2 miles holding my torso up because I was losing function of my muscles in my back and stuff to hold myself up, due to a deficit of some sort.
There are numerous reasons why this can happen. Not knowing your numbers, how much carbohydrate you need to hit per hour is one. Not training your gut to tolerate the amount of carbohydrate you need is another. And also, there can be mistakes made with the mixture of products used. For example, using sports drinks with energy gels and having too much carbohydrate in the gut at one time.
So a time where I'd eaten too much in a race. So I'd gone from being a runner, went into triathlon, and I was really nervous. It was probably my second or third triathlon race. And I had underfueled in a couple of the other ones. And being the extreme personality, I'd gone from not eating in a race. Then I was like, oh, okay, I want to be stronger. I want to finish strong. So I'm going to eat heaps in this race. So I went to Windsor Triathlon, and I think I had something stupid like 6-7 gels. And this was an Olympic distance on the bike. I was literally forcing them down. Then got onto the run, and I was like, oh, I don't feel too good. And at the time it was being broadcasted by Channel 4. So I had the lead motorbike with me, and I'm running along, and my tummy was feeling really bad. And I was in an all-in-one tri-suit, and I just shouted to my coach, like, I really need the loo. Couldn't see any Portaloos like on the course or anything. And in the end, I was like, flip, I just have to dive into the bushes. The camera stopped, the motorbike stopped. I think everyone was like, what the heck is happening here? Yeah, and it was so embarrassing. Did my thing. I think someone passed, and then I ran back past. But yeah, I was so embarrassed. But yeah, what else can you do?
So how do we avoid this? Well, we've got some tools on our website, precisionfuelandhydration.com, that can tell you how much carbohydrate you're likely to need per hour. And then you can go and do some trial and error to really dial those numbers in yourself. In terms of training the gut, there's also a lot of reference information there, which gives you a bit of a protocol to follow in order to get ready for your big day.
I definitely practice nutrition all the way through the year, and I'll be having gels in all the way through. It's not just a few weeks before. It's something that I introduce or keep in my training all the way around to learn how it is, and just to, I guess, train that gut and train the body and train the mind to knowing what it should feel like, what it does feel like, and making sure that you're ready for when it really matters.
When it comes to getting the mixture of products wrong, there are no right and wrong answers that work for everyone. Sometimes people can use sports drinks alongside gels and get on just fine. But if you are having gut problems when you're taking in calories in your sports drink as well as energy gels and bars, one good thing you can try is to separate the two, having water or water plus electrolytes in your bottles, and getting all your carbohydrates from gels, bars and chews and other solid forms of fuel. That way you can increase the hydration intake on a hot day if you need to without taking in more carbs, and you can dial the amount of energy up and down based on your needs. So taking those two things and separating them out is a good strategy if you've been having problems with mixing products in the past.